Hello there. Today I would like to discuss you with a strategy. It's a VWAP strategy which one can implement by himself. So I would like to show you how I have implemented this indicator by myself, and it exploits the concept of VWAP. For those who don't know what VWAP is, so VWAP is basically volume weighted average price. So this strategy or this study will generate two types of signal. One is buy and one is sell, or bear or bull, and it works like this. If the candle crosses the VWAP line and the strength of candle is quite good, so in this case you can see there's very less, so that the length of wick, or there's almost no wick here. However, this can be configured from here. If you go to the settings, then you can design, or you can say what should be the strength of body compared to the candle, compared to the wicks. So right now it's 62%. If the body length is 62% of the total body length, then this would be considered as a strength signal. So the first scenario has to be, it has to cross the VWAP line, and the strength of the candle has to be greater than, in this case, zero point 0.6. And if it crosses the VWAP line from top to bottom, it has to have a red color, or you can say the closing price is lesser than the opening price. And one more thing, the previous candle close and open should be above than the VWAP line. So this is what we are going to implement in our indicator, and this we can do it in TradingView. So TradingView provides a Pine editor where you can program your custom indicators. It's quite user friendly, and I would strongly recommend you to use it. So here you can see I got a signal. It's a bear signal, a sell signal, and basically if I want to trade this, I would prefer to take a stop loss somewhere a little bit above from the VWAP line, so somewhere here, and I would hold it until unless I see there is no uh, reversal or a short pullback. And this, you can see it has given a quite nice move afterwards. But anyway, for us, interesting is to see how it has been implemented. So where you can find the Pine editor. So first you need to log into the website. It's called as TradingView. You can open your chart for your preference chart. I have taken the example of Bitcoin USD, and down left here you can see the Pine editor. Click on that. The source code has already been opened, and I can explain it to you. The first three lines are basically commented. So if you want to write comments to make it more clear for user to understand it, you can simply put a double backslash in the front of your line, or the line of code. This will make itself clear while compiling that this should not be considered. Uh, Next thing is a version number. So this is somehow inbuilt functionality for these guys, and they understand which functions or which module or API they have to consider while building the script. So 4 is the latest one. You can always work with the 4. They have some good functions in this version. Next part is a study. So basically they provides two different types here. One is study and one is a strategy. Study is something which it will implement on the chart. It can be implemented as an overlay. So overlay is something which comes over the chart, and the another part is the as a separate window. So you won't see the signals next to your candles, but somewhere downstairs it has its own area where it plots a signal or line or something like this. But yeah, you can name your indicator. So I name it as VWAP cross and overlay I put it to true. So if you put the overlay to true, it basically plots the signal or indicators or whatever on the chart. Now there are different parameters which I need to provide for this indicator to work, and this has to be configurable by the users. And to do this, the Pine script offers the function called as input. So here you can see I have three different inputs, which is price, comp, and str. So strength, comparison, price, you can name it whatever you like. And just to give you an overview, how does it looks like in the Pine script? So once you implement this, you can go to your indicator. You can see it has been already added to my script. And then you need to come here, this part which says settings, click on it. And then you can see this price, comp, and str, you can see over here. So once you say, I want to define this as an input function, and then you need to define what type of input is it. Is it a source, or is it an integer, float? So there are different functionalities. For now, it's okay. You just need to know you can provide a different kind of input to your to your script. So and then you need to give the title to your inputs. For example, for the price, you can see VWAP source, and then it will reflect here VWAP source. And so as I said, so this is a input dot source. So source can be your open, close, high, low, you can see over here. So this is all inbuilt functions, you don't have to think about it. Okay, so this was a VWAP source. Next is comparison. This has to be integer type, and the default value is 3. So you can change it to 4, 5, whatever you want. And the third path is the strength. So strength is, as I said, this is the ratio of the complete length of the candle and the ratio of to the body of the candle. So let us say the complete length of the candle is 5 and the body is 3. So it would be 3 by 5. And if it is greater than the strength, then this will be considered as a one of the condition for our buy or sell scenario. Okay, so this and the next, you can also put your check boxes in your input functions. So enable VWAP. So if I tick it, then it shows me the VWAP line and VWAP resolution. So resolution is nothing but the time frame. If I choose a 3-minute time frame, the VWAP will be calculated accordingly to 3 minutes time frame. You can choose 5 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you prefer. But as I said, this strategy is really good if you want to do scalping. And scalping, I prefer doing scalping in a time frame of 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes. So ideally, I prefer 3 minutes as a good time frame. Okay, so I guess this part is clear to you where we provide input to our strategy. The next part is a VWAP function. So VWAP function, so as I said, the Pine script provides a default or how to say functions, are default functions which can calculate different mathematical functions for you. One of them is a VWAP, as was the input. So VWAP. So if you hover on the function, it will show you what this VWAP does. So it calculates the volume weighted average price for a series of data. So now I want to calculate VWAP for my given price. So price is nothing but my closing price. So what it will do, it will calculate the price based on the previous closing prices, and then it will calculate me the next VWAP line. Again, need not to know this. Important is you have this VWAP function. It's not ideally to call it VWAP function, but let it be. So VWAP function is nothing but a price, VWAP price at the given time interval. For example, here at 25th March 2021 at 0009, The VWAP price is 55662.5. So it has been already calculated for us. So this is a VWAP function. And security is a security where you can calculate the VWAP price for the given ticker ID. Ticker ID here is BTC USD. If you choose some different ticker, it would be something different. For example, USD, Euro, or whatever. And VWAP resolution is a resolution that that appears on your chart. So, for example, in this case, is 3 minutes. So you can also change the VWAP resolution. So this was the part, input part, VWAP resolution. It's a type of input. The title should be VWAP resolution, or you can choose, you can write whatever you want. Default values, no default value, and it has to be the input type resolution, because input type resolution always takes a default values like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or whatever. Not the default values, but the resolution. Good. Now, getting ahead in Pine script, so let me make it a little big. In Pine script, you can define the variables like CG, CR, VWAP, CPU. I have defined a few variables over here. These are although I have defined it, but I'm not using it in the script, so we can leave it for now. There was another one condition for getting us the buy or sell signal, and this is like a price action strategy. So I want to count the n number of candle before my current candle. So for example, the market is running like this. So this is the current condition of a market, and I get a sell signal. So it has to check the condition. So it should go n candles back. So n would be here my comp. So comp is, it's just an input type integer and default value is 3. So what it will do, it will go 3 candles before and calculate their closing price. So here you can see they have a different closing price, and then compare with the closing price of the current candle. So if the current candle closing price, in case if it is a bearish signal, has to be less than the all three, and vice versa. So in a bearish signal, if the closing price is greater than the past three closing price, then this is one of the condition which has to be met. And this is why I always check the highest close. So highest close. So this is again an inbuilt function from Pine script. Highest, it will calculate the highest of the close price for the last comp. Comp is here 3, default value is 3. So it will check the complete. So it will take the highest among the last three candles, and it will store this in a highest close. And similarly, I also want to check the highest volume. So I want to make sure the volume of the candle which is breaking my VWAP line is greater than the volume, is greater than the previous volume, or greater than the previous three volumes. So again, this is a kind of surety which I want to have in my signal. So this is these are the two values, highest close and highest volume. Now I want to define two Boolean variables. One is my bearish entry and one is my bullish entry. So right now I will take it to false, and once they are true, you will get a signal, or you will get a some kind of sign over your bar that it's a bearish signal. You can go for sell or you can go for buy. Good. So I have done an additional check on my strategy. So if the closing price is greater than the open price, which means closing price, so this is the closing price is greater than the open price. So this is definitely a uptrend, not uptrend, but a positive candle. So I term this as a CG. CG is like call green and CR call red. So in this case, in a bearish signal, I want to have a red color or a red. candle. And if it is a red candle, the value of CR will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. So you have seen I have defined few variables over here, CG and CR. So if it is by default, they are always 0. And in case if it is a red candle, it should be 1. In case it is a green candle, it should be 1. Good. Now I have two variables or two Boolean variables called as bullish entry and bearish entry. So let's go for the bullish entry, the condition for the bullish entry. So for the bullish entry, my close price has to be greater than the VWAP function. Okay, no, let's take the other one. So bearish entry. So bullish entry would be more or less same like bearish entry. You just need to change the signs of it. So closing price is greater than the VWAP function. So we are talking about the signal. So my close price, so this is my close price. This is less than the VWAP function over here. So VWAP function is more or less 55672 and the close price is 55621. So this is true and now it will go forward. I also want to make sure that this should happen only in a case when it is crossing the VWAP line. Shouldn't happen for all other candles. So I need to make sure the open price is greater than the VWAP price. So this was my second VWAP condition. This is not necessary. You can skip this VWAP CB. It has not been used further. So this is why I don't want to explain it. Next condition is the closing price is less than the highest close. So I want to check that it is breaking the previous lows. So this is more like a price action strategy. So if close is less than the highest close, which we have calculated before here, if from this one, so if the closing price is less than the highest close, this is true. If yes, go ahead. Now there's another condition. If the close one is greater than the VWAP function 1 and open 1 is greater than the VWAP function 1. So I'm making sure the signal or it should only trigger a signal when the previous candle is above the VWAP line. So how you can check it? The close price and the open price has to be greater than the VWAP line. So this is the condition here. And in Pine script, if you want to access a previous candle, you always need to go for the indexing. So close one shows a candle before the current candle. So if this is a running candle, for example, if this is the running candle and if I say close one, then I will get the value at this point, open one value at this point, close two value at this point, open two value at this point, close three, close four, close five, close six, like this. This is how you can access the historical data for the close price, open price, high price, and so on. Good. This condition has also been met now. This is true. Now I want to check the how strength or how strong is my signal. To do this, I need to find the ratio of my complete body or of the complete candle to the body. So what is candle and what is body? So let us consider this body. You can see this is a green candle and then it has a wick coming here and going there. So a candle has a four characteristic: low, open, close, and high. So I'm now here I'm checking the strength of my signal. A strong signal indicates a good body length. So ideally, if my low is equal to open and close equal to high, this shows a very strong signal, a signal with a strong strength. And this is I want to calculate here. So I'm calculating the ratio of this portion to the complete portion. And if this is greater than my strength, so I have defined my default strength to be 0.62. This can be changed on the fly. So if this part is greater than 0.62, this condition will be true and it will check for the next condition. So the next condition is if volume is greater than the volume 1. So now I'm checking the volume profile at this candle. where I'm generating the signal, is it greater than the volume, previous volume? If yes, then this is again a true condition which would basically generate a bullish entry for me. So you can see I have put a set of rules, a set of filters where I'm including price section, volume profile, and VWAP line. And if all these conditions are met, my bullish entry signal will be true. So I'm not going to explain how I do for the bearish and for the bullish entry. Uh, what I explained was for the bearish entry, and then this is the same logic. You just need to reverse your conditions of the operator, and then you get the bullish signal. And now the last part is plotting them on your script. So first of all, we want to plot our VWAP line. So as I said, if enable, so this is a kind of function you don't need to worry. Just say enable VWAP. So this is a Boolean function. So Boolean function, how this Boolean function or where is it coming from? So this was our input variable. Enable VWAP. This is an input function. So the default value is always true. So if this is ticked as true, it will plot the VWAP line. If it is not ticked true, it won't plot the VWAP line. So if enable VWAP function, then it will plot the VWAP security. And VWAP security has been calculated before. Here's the VWAP security. So this is nothing but a VWAP function, the VWAP prices over the past candles. So it will plot the VWAP security, otherwise it won't plot anything. And you can choose the color for this. So you can use the class color from them, and then it has a different colors. I choose here black. You can choose your line width, transparency, editable, everything you can choose over here. And now we want to plot our signals, a bearish entry or a bullish entry. So if bearish entry is true or a bullish entry is true, then it will plot it, otherwise it won't plot anything. So in this case, as soon as the bearish entry would be true, so it will plot bearish entry, but what will it exactly it will plot? It will plot a arrow down. You can see it has plotted an arrow down here. In this part, since it is a bearish signal, I choose a color to be red, and then you can also overlay a text on it, and the text name is pair. You need to provide the location where it should plot it. So the location is location above par. So it will take the current bar and it goes above it, and then it plots it. So that was it. This is how you can design, or you can define your own strategy. You can configure it. You can do a back testing, how it has performed in the past few signals. You can see what is working, what is not working, and accordingly change your functions or your filters with that. I hope you liked it, and I would put the code, or you can find this code in TradingView portal. If you go and search for VWAP cross underscore, either you can find the script and you can add it, or just use it as it is. So this is working fine for me in a time frame of 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay, thank you for showing your interest. If you have any questions, please write down in the comment section.